All right. So I wrote this one for my bandmates. So hopefully you guys like it. It's a short one. So, yo, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. And I'll tell you what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really, 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 really Ramblecast.
Nice.
Woo!
That's One Direction, right?
That's your best one yet.
I'm. What am I? Am I Sporty Spice? Right. You're Ginger Spice. You're Scary Spice, right, Matt?
I don't know how I got to be Scary Spice, but yeah,
maybe you're. I don't know what you are. Posh. That's right.
And then Jay's baby.
Jay's baby.
He's old.
I act like a big baby.
Thank you for the listeners for coming up with those wonderful names. We hashed it out. I think you weren't even there for that one, were you? Nick, you were gone.
No. I just saw someone. I saw someone. Yeah, I saw someone on the message boards post, Nick's ginger. And I'm like, how the fuck did I get ginger? And then I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Well, welcome to the Ramble cast. It's good seeing everybody back again.
All four of us here for the first time in weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, feels weird.
It's been a crazy few weeks, man. It's been a crazy week. I think it's what's today?
Wednesday.
I've had an interesting. I had an interesting. Can I just get off the bat? What happened to me?
Go.
This morning?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm watching my granddaughter like I do, and we're in here. We're in the studio. She likes to feed the fish, a lot of fish food, and she likes to grab all the stuff. She likes to put. Luckily, I don't wear these, but she put Play-Doh on my headphones, and now it's all stuck. Anyway, she's like she's very creative. She likes to do things and stuff like that. So all of a sudden I hear this screaming, and I hear the screaming outside our house because we have windows open because it's actually cooled off for the first time in 4 months. And I go, what the hell is that? So I go in there's two cars. One's this park district because we're still at dead end. The street hasn't been completed yet, and they're like screaming at each other. So I go, what the hell? I mean, they're like cussing and swearing. I can't tell if it's two guys, two girls, a guy and a girl. They're in each other. They're in each other's cars. I mean, they're in their own car. And so I go. So I did what every, citizen should do. What a responsible citizen should do. I went and got my phone and filmed it because I figured, okay, this is going to be great. but 30 seconds into it, I said, I better call the cops because. He's saying now I know it's a man and a woman. He's going, I'm going to kick your fucking ass. I go, whoa. So I'm just about ready to call the cops. And she said something. It must have been a couple that been fighting over custody, something like that. Because why would you let her teach? I won't go into what she was saying, but she was, why would you let her teach my child, blah, blah, blah. And she was going on and on and on and on. And then they drove away. I go, okay, I didn't get a license plate. So but then they came back. So I'm just ready to call 911, and they both turned around and went back up the street again. So I don't know what happened.
So just to kind of piggyback on your story, Jack, because this was something that similar happened to me over the weekend. It's about 12:30. I think it was about 12:30. I couldn't sleep. It was like a Saturday night or something like that. Maybe it was Sunday night. I can't remember, but I'm downstairs in my basement watching some TV, and I hear this woman just like, I don't understand you. Why you can't, blah, blah, and going on. And I was like, okay. And I guess she's arguing with her boyfriend. And then I might have heard the man, maybe, I think I just heard her first. I didn't think anything of it. And then about a half an hour later, and mind you, I'm in my basement, which I have windows, but still, it's like I hear him going like, "Fuck you, bitch!" Blah, 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 and he's just going off on her.
This is 12:30 at night.
12:30 at night, and so I'm like, so the first incident happened at 12:30. The follow up happened at about 1 a.m. So at that point, I was like, okay, this is still going on. So I go up to our sunroom, and it's kind of like got these curtains closed, so I can kind of peer out. The guy is parked, not even parked. I mean, well, yeah, he's parked in the street, lights on, truck's still running. They've been arguing like this for I don't know how long, just cussing back and forth, blah, 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 blah.
Who has to wake up the next day?
And at this point, I'm just like, all right. I skipped the videotaping because it's at night, and I just went straight to I'm calling the cops. Non-emergency, I'm like, I get through 911 or whatever. I'm like, this is non-emergency. I'm basically like, hey, there's this domestic dispute going on. And the cop event, does show up not too long after I called, maybe 10 minutes or whatever. He shows up. They're still arguing at this point. She's, like on the side of the street, and he's parked the vehicle now. So he's not in the middle of the road, but they're still arguing like just cats and dogs. And cop comes up and trying to break them up, and what is this relationship and all of this stuff. And she's like, I didn't even call you people. It's like, yeah, well, you know what, all of the rest of us are having to put up with your bullshit at like 1 a.m.
Well, if I was the cop, I said maybe it was one of your neighbors that's trying to sleep.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I think the cop was basically trying to not put blame on anybody so that they didn't think that like come back at us. And which is
because they're thinking, I saw a light in that basement.
Well, actually my lights weren't on, so but at any rate, it was resolved. And like the sad part is that at the end of it, she goes back with him, and the cop's just like frustrated because he's trying to protect her. And that was my concern, but my wife and I believe that there's something else going kind of on with that house. Like there may be some hooking and some drugs. So this isn't the first incident that we've witnessed that's a little like out of the ordinary, and she probably owes him money or something. So awful situation considering our block is a fairly nice area, but still it's just like, seriously, like, get your shit together and don't argue in the street like that. Like, or yeah, like the I don't know. It was just kind of random, like Jack. I mean, the fact that you would bring this up, and it's like,
yeah, it was
holy shit. Like,
I think it's just the times. I think so. People are just so stressed out, and everyone's so angry. I was like, but this is the second time, because last time it happened, one of our neighbors, we saw the cars. It could have been different people, but about 6 months ago, something like that happened, and our neighbors called the police because they saw a gun. I didn't see the gun, but everyone was here. We were doing some kind of family get together, and we go, "What is that yell?" And they're driving in the grass. It's just like crazy, and then they scream at each other. But our neighbor said she saw a gun, so she called the cops on them. I go, I don't know. It kind of looked like the same cars, but I'm like, this is crazy.
Hey, that was something that went through my head at one point. I was like, at what point does this escalate and a gun goes off? And, I'm just worried about, my kids and their safety, and just any, a stray bullet, goes through the house. Like, any one of my neighbors could be affected by this. And I don't know these people from anybody, but if you're going to cause a ruckus like this, it's like, get on with it and go somewhere else. But sad that she had to go back with him and like decide like that this was the answer, was to hop in the truck with this guy. So
it's unfortunate because you can't, because I know years ago, the rink, this girl came flying into the rink saying, he's beating me up. And then the guy comes running in, and we all stopped him and said, no, you're not going after her. He's trying to. And luckily, he was a pretty big guy, but there was enough of us. And plus, we had, I saw that. We had a guy that was like 6'4", 6'5", one of the parents. And he literally grabbed the guy, almost picked him and said, "You're going to leave." And we got him to drive away. But she said, I got to go back to him. Like, no. We called the police and everything. And we're trying to say, no, don't go. You don't have to go back.
Right.
He goes, okay, I'm just going to drive somewhere else. But we go, no, wait, talk to the police. She got in the car. She drove the same direction he did. So she went back to him. But it was, you can't force somebody to, it's just, I'm not living in her shoes. I don't know what the deal is. But yeah, it's frustrating because we all wanted to beat the shit out of the guy. But
now, how do you know that? Like, she could have robbed the guy and then like run through the arena just going, he's beating me. And next thing you know, you cold clock this guy who's just probably trying to get his wallet back. Could have been anything.
Yeah, but it's
of course Nick takes the side.
I'm just like, it would be a It would be a smart strategy by someone who's just robbed somebody, though, to do
true,
that.
but it's been a while since I've actually got to hit somebody.
Oh, okay.
It probably would have felt good
You
because
should hang out with Chris more.
I know. Actually, I'd be the old guy they beat up.
Hey guys, have we actually tried to talk to COVID? Like maybe COVID is good for us.
Yeah, maybe the COVID is just floating around. It's not asking to affect it.
This just wants to be our friend. It wants to fill our lungs with love.
Yeah, or doesn't want us to. It's just doing its own thing. It's us that is sucking it in. We're like, and we're sucking the COVID in. Yeah, I think Nick's onto something. We're blaming COVID, and it's our fault.
By the way, I just put that in Nick's mouth. I didn't really say that.
You see, I saw on Twitter today there was like 20 people running through a Target, I guess in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Anti-mask people.
Yeah.
I go,
hard eye roll.
Again, if you don't want to wear your mask, just stay away from people. Don't be a dick about it. God,
Yeah.
it just irritates me. It's just so frustrating.
My students now have gotten to the point where they're like, okay, I can just take it down for a little bit. It's just like, go outside, go someplace. Like you're in a closed proximity of other people. Like if you need a mask break, I don't care. Like leave the room, go have a mask break. But don't.
Well, we're becoming complacent again, because the numbers are slowly coming down. So everyone goes, okay. Well, I thought we were
going
down
up
13% last I heard nationwide.
Nationwide is
They will be. Well, they will be going up after Labor Day.
I read the
because
opposite.
If you saw Labor Day, it was a clusterfuck. I'm like, going,
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Well,
I had my mask on. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I was in a hardware store the other day, and somebody had a Jaws mask. It's like Jaws, like coming
cool.
at you. So, unlike my background here, so.
I almost bought one the other day. It was Ron Burgundy's face.
That'd be cool with the mustache. Yeah.
Thought about getting it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I did buy a weed bag though.
Just a bag of weed.
A bag of weed.
My weed bag.
You just carrying around like is it like a donor cooler?
Here's the impetus behind said purchase.
Impetus.
So my daughter started playing Roblox.
You used a big word there, Chris. Jack didn't understand it. Yeah.
I understand the other one.
So my daughter started playing Roblox. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Roblox or not.
Nope.
No.
It's a stupid fucking game that kids love.
Is it like Pong?
No, it's kind of like I don't know, like The Sims meets Minecraft, I guess you could say. So
Never.
So she's in my office now when I'm not home.
So sure.
Well,
yeah.
Real quick, I ordered myself a combination locked, smell-proof bag, and it's actually pretty cool. So, I might as well demonstrate it by sampling some of the goods. But
did you bring some for everyone?
It's my smell-proof little organization, and keep all my stuff in here, and my kids can't get at it.
Fair.
I know. Come on to civilization, man. Well, they're saying that it's on the docket for they're trying to remove federal restrictions from it, I think, but they should.
I'm just gonna put if I'm ever on a flight with you, I'm just gonna put dog biscuits in some of the other pockets of your suitcase.
Thanks, buddy. Well, I wouldn't fly with weed. That's just not a good idea.
Oh, well, what's the point of having the bag then?
So my daughter can't get into it.
Okay.
I was able to get it from California to here.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise it.
I just put it in stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I took some out and put them back in, sealed it up. I put it in the candy.
Okay, pull up your pants now. Now that you've shown everybody where you stuck it, pull up your pants, Jack.
It's like Midnight Express.
People
nobody wants to touch
listening to
that.
the audio
We
version.
put it in the luggage. We didn't take it on the plane with us. We actually
You checked it, yeah.
And I'm dripping. It's rolling. Sweats is rolling down me. You all right, sir? Yeah, I'm fine. I'll be fine once I get in Raleigh.
You can buy
I'm not
these
guilty of anything.
pre-made. They're fantastic.
The fatty.
My wife wanted to take more. I said, "Are you kidding? We're lucky we're taking what we can."
So this stuff stinks. Obviously, as anybody who knows who has weed, it smells. So this bag is specifically it's lined with like all these like charcoal filters all around the inside of it.
Oh yeah.
So it's like a smell-proof bag too, which is great.
And you can always take that charcoal out and draw with it.
Exactly.
Like
sure.
poop.
If you get real creative after a little bit of a sesh.
Hey man, I'm feeling the creative powers.
But it's great. So now that she's in here, I don't have to worry about it because it doesn't smell and she can't get access to it.
Now, can she like take it up, like get a screwdriver and pry it open, something like that?
I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, it's like a luggage lock, it's a zipper with like.
Because I can see my granddaughter getting out a screwdriver and popping that.
You got like a little lock on, or you got a combo? What do you got?
Yeah, it's a combo lock. So it's a 3-digit combo lock.
1, 2, 3.
No, 420.
Yeah.
What's 420, Jack?
But it's cool, man. Like it was my purchase of the week. My small purchase of the week was this guy here. My big purchase of the week that was 90% completed. My replacing all the windows in my house began yesterday.
Oh, are you doing it, or you hired someone to do it?
No, I'm not doing it. No, I hired a couple of guys. So I got like the best dudes in the business to do it for me, right? So it was a recommendation from a friend, which is always the way you want to do when you're trying to find a contractor. You want to find someone who can recommend. So my buddy had his windows done. He recommended these guys, 2 guys, and I had them come over. They're retired like window installers from like they've been doing it for years.
From like the 50s.
What's that?
From like the 50s.
No, I mean they're in their 50s, maybe 60s. No, they're in their 60s because he's retired. The 60s, yeah, mid 60s.
Well, make sure your friends don't come over.
What?
Make sure your friends don't come over. They're in their 60s. I don't want one of those window guys getting punched in the face.
Oh God. Okay. So, anyways,
I thought he was talking about COVID, but he just
talking about. So he recommended these guys come over, and these guys are retired. They're no bullshit. They're not trying to like make millions. They're just sitting here, keeping themselves busy. And he was like, honestly, he's like, we do this for mad money. He's like, my second wife is really expensive. He's like, my second wife's really expensive.
Is he still paying on the first one?
Yeah, still paying the first one too. And he goes, and this honestly, this gets me out of the house for 2 to 3 days a week. I get a couple bucks in my pocket. It's great.
Sounds like he needs a third wife.
You know. So but the thing is though, like he's charging literally like 30% of what like your big your big window manufacturer distributors would charge. So they're only charging $350 a window installed. Wow, which is insane.
That's material and labor.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I got I think like 27 windows done. Something crazy. Like 27 windows. And I'm getting a new slider, which is that part was delayed unfortunately. So I'm getting a new sliding glass door for the back of the house.
Hey, we're getting a sliding glass door for the back of our house too.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, we just ordered one this weekend.
What brand?
Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson's nice.
120.
We were looking at a couple different ones, and we just wanted something we didn't have to replace in 5 years, or it was going to like come off the track.
So we got these guys use the best part about it too. He's like, as I was meeting he goes, here's the deal. He's like, there's no beating around the bush or no bullshit. Like we work with Harvey windows, and that's it. Here's the window you have a choice from of the there are 3 different finishes. Do you want it?
Sure. Is it a national brand or is it just?
Yeah, Harvey's a well-known brand.
It's a giant rabbit.
Yeah, it's owned by Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah,
right?
Harvey Building Products. I think that's what it is. Harvey Building Products. I don't know. The windows are beautiful, man. Like because the windows that were in this house up until yesterday were here when they built the house 40 years ago. And they're like single pane, like real shitty, like wooden frames, all chipping and cracking.
Yeah.
So are they going to? Is it going to make the house warmer in the winter, cooler in the summer?
Yep, exactly.
Thank you, Nick, for that.
Did I write that? Oh,
Yeah. That's good.
We are it's funny too. That it's actually I sent a text to my buddy Jeff, who, by the way, I was supposed to be in San Diego this past weekend, but that was one of my trips for concerts that got canceled.
The weather finally.
That's a fair point, Will.
Weather finally got nice out there.
I know.
It's been hot for like 2 months.
If it's not covered in fucking ash.
Well, no, you're getting ash. I mean, there's no question about that.
But anyways, yeah. So I was supposed to be out there this past weekend, but I was texting him. I'm like, dude, I just got all my fucking windows replaced today. I go, and the fact that I'm this fucking excited about that just shows my age. Like this is
got new windows.
Yeah. So yeah, new windows, new weed bag. Life is good.
Well, how did you afford the weed after all those windows?
Oh, so great question. Now we're going to talk about windows and then financing on this podcast.
Oh, hey, did you? I know you didn't listen to the last podcast, but did you just hypothetically ride your bike to a bank and take out $7,000 in cash?
I did not.
Okay,
What?
just
Dumbass would do that.
seeing if other Franklin people would do that.
Who takes $7,000 in cash out? What an idiot!
I wish it cost $7,000. That'd been nice.
Did you, Matt? Cash?
Through the drive-through.
Oh my God!
No, in this wonderful state of Massachusetts, we actually have no interest financing for home improvements that are energy efficiency improvements, which is great. So,
nice.
I was able to do for windows. They cap out at $10,000, which is not anything when it comes to windows. So I got the first 10,000, 0% interest for 7 years.
I thought John, the UPS guy, was saying we'll send you extra cash, but it's ash. Okay.
Ash.
Yeah.
They had some amazing photos. It was daytime in San Francisco, but you couldn't tell because.
Oh yeah, it's great. Like even here, like last Monday, not this past one, but the one before, basically everything west of here was on fire, and mom and dad were still here, and it was completely black at noon. Just you couldn't see the sun. It was just night, and because of the ash cloud was so thick that it dropped it from 98 degrees the day before to 59 because there's no sun getting through.
Is that what made it snow?
No, it snowed. The cold front came down from Wyoming that night and dropped it down to 35, and then it was that way for the next 2 days. But now it's back.
Wasn't it like 101 the day before, and then it was 35 the next day or something like that?
It was 98. Never got above 100, but yeah, but it was 98. Yeah.
I was going by what they said on Padre.
I mean, it could have been maybe down in Denver or somewhere, but not here.
We went on Don. What's Don's last name? Chris.
Who?
Don Orlo. One of my drawing blank with his last name.
Orsillo?
Yeah, he's the one that said.
I love that man.
Him and Mark Grant are just great together. I did last year. I watched the games because those two guys are just so funny.
I'll tell you, common denominator here is Don. I don't know the other guy.
Mark Grant, he big league pitcher for a while.
Yeah, but in Boston, having Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy together was the fucking best, man. Like it was like they their goal was to try to make each other laugh each game, and when they do, Don loses it for like innings at a time.
Well, that's what they do. They're both pretty fair too. I mean,
if we did sports games, we would totally do that too.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude! Are you kidding me?
People would be like, "Why are we even watching this for the game?" These guys are just like
they bag on each other's weight.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Anywho,
it's funny.
I just speaking of buying shit and geeking out on random things, like I did twice in the last few days. So today, the Lego Cantina was released for members only. Yeah, so I can't just buy the Cantina. I have to buy everything else that I want because it's like, well, it's all been on my wish list. So I dropped quite a large amount of money on Lego today. So
how much?
I didn't say how much. I don't want to say how much. It's just a lot. Just say that because the Cantina alone is a large chunk of money. But then I went and bought Luke's speeder. I went and bought the Razor Crest. I went ahead and bought all these other ones I've been waiting for. And it's the AT-AT. I went and bought everything. So I'm just like,
oh yeah, there's a new AT-AT.
New AT-AT, and it's because the last.
You talk about
you want to get your money back?
I dropped some money. I dropped some.
I'm curious, who spent more on Windows or Legos now?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I Go ahead, Jack.
I get your money back, Nick.
No, I don't.
Do it live on YouTube, showing people you building that because I actually stumbled on a guy was just building Lego. One was like a safe, and one was like and like 4,000 people watching.
Holy
Because
And I'm like, and live. I'm going. I go. I can build that.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people that make money off that are speed builders. So they do how fast they can build these.
I don't know if he was going that fast. I was
okay.
just like going, I don't even know how I got on the channel because I left it on YouTube and I came back. I go, what am I watching?
Chris, are you wholly shitting out the price or the set? Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, I think Chris could put together the set high and people would still watch. Like, I don't think there's a matter of timing. You know, you might have to do a little bit of time lapse if you're getting high while you're doing it.
Jerry makes a good point.
What? I could have bought the green screen. I could have bought the green screen. Yeah.
That set costs 11 cents per piece.
Yeah, that's usually the average. Like for most Legos, it's about 10 cents per piece.
Okay,
yeah.
how many pieces are in it?
3,187.
Okay.
You do the math.
350
$350. I'll do the math for you.
The cantina. Yeah.
Do you enjoy it, Nick?
I do. I have.
You know what?
Pocket.
That cantina looks amazing. And
It looks great.
It
It does look pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, how was the gap?
I think it was crazy. It was an exclusive for VIP members only for today because it doesn't officially come out till October 1st. It was sold out by noon. I was like, holy cool.
Colorado's got no just
It's true. That's so true. That's how they get you. That's how they get you.
Our listeners are the best. Randy, that is hilarious. So,
That's good.
How was the Gatling gun?
I'll get to that later. But the second thing I geeked out over was this past weekend. The official debut of the new Ford Bronco happened down in Buenos Vista, Colorado, and I drove all the way down there just to go see it because it's a big boy toy, and I just was like, holy shit, look at this thing because you want it because that's considerable, a lot more money than the Legos. But
be single again.
Yeah,
exactly. With no kids.
With no kids, yeah.
Yeah,
it looks cool as shit, dudes. I'm like,
I could drive down and watch it on YouTube probably, but I couldn't.
Well, actually, it's gonna. That was for the Bronco something West. The one for the East Coast is going to be in Townsend, Tennessee, which is just south of Knoxville, October 6th through 10th. If anybody wants to go see the new Bronco.
Yeah, I'm not a big Bronco fan, so.
They're growing on me, man. They look awesome.
The new ones look awesome, dude. I mean, I'd never been a Ford guy, but this one I was like, I actually might get a Ford for the first time in my life.
Is what I would go with. But.
Yeah, only when you're in Hawaii.
Not now.
No, the classic Mustang.
Like
1965, 4 through 69, 70, something like that. Yeah, those are good ones. They're worth a lot of money. Some of them are. Some of them aren't.
Yeah.
I hate when I see one that's not kept up. I want to find the owner and smack him.
Or you get like the ones from like the early 90s that just look like complete douchebag mobiles.
It's a 5.0, man.
Yeah.
I had one in the late 80s.
What year was it? What in the 80s, but what year of the car was it?
It was brand new when I bought it. It was 80. Oh. Let's see, 86.
80 stoned.
Had a two-stroke in it. Yeah, just a little.
It would actually because it was a stick shift. I didn't know how to drive a stick shift.
Oh, that's the one that looks like a hatchback.
It told you when. No, it wasn't a hatchback.
It looks like one though.
But then I traded for a Escort GT.
Oh, those Escorts, yeah, those were really great.
They look nice.
Well, you pay
for the time.
Crap.
Yeah, I liked how they went from hookers to escorts. It was great. It kind of made them sound fancy.
Hookers to escorts.
Well, that's where my stick shift came loose.
I
had the car for a month, and I'm like going.
It was a high-end escort. Yeah,
so I took it. They wanted to charge me $135. I go, well, I have a warranty. They go, no, not for that. I go, it's bumper to bumper. I go, isn't that in between the bumper? And they go, well, I go, you know what? Just keep the car. So I started walking away, and they go, no. And so they didn't.
Rubbing his racing.
I really want to get to more car talk, but we really have to just insert one of those ad breaks right here.
Lego commercials.
Pump the brakes. put the ad in. All right. That was good. Oh, that was a good break. And then
I'm not voting for that person, by the way.
Chris, you had something. I was going to share it, but no.
That's gone.
Okay. Well, when we came back from the ad break, I wanted to make sure that Sherry really wants to know what's the story behind Jack's background tonight. And for those listening at home that can't see, Jack has a Casper, the friendly ghost, and a thing that says must see, just the letter C. So what's
Must see TV and movies. It's one of my new YouTube channels. But
look at you fucking.
Do you want to pump it or crimp it or pimp it or put it up there?
Escort it?
I did a lost trivia thing on it, and I thought it was pretty easy. It was old pictures of the stars, and then what character they played. People were struggling with it. They couldn't figure it out. I'm like going, some people got it, but a lot of people were like, I got 2. I go, 2? How could you only get 2? But anyway,
but everyone has that iron, that mind that you have, Jack.
Some were pretty easy. Well, now some were pretty hard though, because I did Josh Holloway as a baby.
Oh.
But anyway,
did you have a nice 5 o'clock baby shadow?
the baby saying, "Son of a bitch!"
Was he wearing jeans?
Yes, he was, and he was swimming.
Yeah.
So I don't know how people didn't get it. Anyway, if you want to see, go on must see TV. It's must_see TV and movies. That's kind of a play on the NBC old must see TV thing. Anyway, so ghost thing, and I was going to tell this ghost story, but then Dennis posted something of Gettysburg. This guy's driving, and you literally see ghost. Would you say they were ghosts, Nick? You saw it?
Yeah,
it's on Facebook, Matt.
In this digital Photoshop world, I'm always skeptical at it now. I'm like, that's just somebody putting something in, as it's walking by. Who knows? But it does look real. It looks like a ghost actually walking by the cannon. You're like, oh, that's pretty cool. But it's like it's the same thing as like with a 3-minute little baby. Like, how many times did we watch that and people thought there was a ghost, in the window in that one scene? And for years, it was a cardboard cutout. But people for years, it's a ghost. It's a ghost. It's like, no, it's a cardboard cutout of Ted Danson. I'm like, oh. Never mind.
Well, like Wizard of Oz, when they thought they saw a munchkin that was
hanging himself. That looks real. I mean, because you just see it, just start swinging back and forth.
And they all know
it was a munchkin. I thought it was like somebody from the set or something that had hung himself. Like it wasn't.
Just depends on what
which person tells it to. Yeah, I always heard.
I heard that he hung himself with a guitar string.
The G string.
So, why don't you just go and shave your face with some mace in the dark?
Boom!
Where'd that come from? What happened?
Beck. That's the lyric that I was dropping, and
that's
Chris with the.
I'm trying to think, what movie is that from? Because Chris doesn't.
I knew the lyric. I knew it sounded familiar. I just couldn't. It didn't hit me like it did Chris. Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, and then some asshole put something about it was Confederate soldiers because they were retreating. I didn't.
Yeah, some asshole wrote that. Yeah.
I didn't think that was funny. I thought that was pretty fucking brutally. I just thought I felt bad for you, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so my ghost story. I was going to tell it anyway. My granddaughter, she talks to things that aren't there. I mean, I think I've told this before, where she's literally having conversations, but she can't really. But now her vocabulary is actually like all of a sudden this week. She's, Chris, you can remember when your daughter all of a sudden could just start, and Matt, when your kids just start going
up since.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how my granddaughter's going to be. She just comes from a long line of gabbers. But anyway, she the other day she goes to me and she points in the kitchen. She goes, "Ghost." I go, "What?" And I go, and she was saying the name of who she was talking to, but I couldn't understand her. I'm like going, "Okay, who are you speaking to? Who are you talking to?" She goes, I go, all right, slow down. Who are you talking? I go, I want to see it. Why can't I see it? And
holy cow!
And then she did it again.
The ghost thing, it just keeps like it's.
Well, because we've seen them we've seen ghosts in our house. We've all seen
the kid. It's like 10 times creepier.
Yeah. But then she's done it at her. She'll sit in her she has a bed now, but she'll sit there and my daughter will see her on the camera talking to somebody. And one time she said, and a couple times she said Nana, which is my wife's mom.
Oh.
And I'm like going, I go, well, we don't want her visiting. She'll never leave. But anyway, I'm kidding. It's a joke. But she did it again today. First she goes, Dart.
Nana, go
Dart.
to the light. tell her to tell Nana to go to the light.
Yeah, she goes, it's Dart. I go, Dart. And then she goes, Ghost. I'm like going, is she like in another dimension? It's like that.
I mean, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah. It's called
Go home,
imagination.
kid.
No, it's just weird, but it's just like it's funny because they say kids can see dead people.
Yeah. Like cats.
Yeah.
Was she wearing a red dress?
Peach.
I think you're thinking of the Matrix, Chris.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway,
because,
that was my ghost story.
Sixth Sense is the same thing.
Oh, right.
Whenever there was a ghost, there was something red in the scene that was like a signifier or whatever. Like the door handle was a red doorknob, and that was like the signal that he was.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, long time ago. This was when my daughter was a baby. So she was a baby, probably about 3 months old. And there's a house next to us, a very large house. It actually dates back to 1850. Our house goes back to 1920. So their house is older. And there was a whole family that was moving in there, and they were renovating the place, all of this stuff. And so right about that time that they were moving in and renovating, and I mean tearing out walls, taking it back to its original condition, there was this night that and at the time I would always have the first feeding. So, it's like she's a baby, she always wakes up, and I would go back and give her the bottle and she'd go to sleep. So this one night, and this was right around the time BSG was out, because I would always kind of like be on the message boards and just kind of like wait my time out. It's like, okay, like, come on, like, when are you going to wake up? So all of a sudden, the little baby monitor, it is the weirdest fucking thing. Okay. And I've never had a baby monitor pick up another signal. Like, it doesn't pick up a cell phone. It doesn't pick up shit. Okay. And if it did pick up something, what came through was just gibberish. It was blah, 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 blah. It was like somebody talking for the first time, right? But it was not a baby. And she was 3 months, which at that point, they're not talking. But it's this distinct older voice that goes, and just like spits out like this like garbage. Like, and I look at the monitor like, what the fuck did I just hear? And immediately right after that, my daughter starts to cry. And I am like,
you said she's on her own.
Yeah, you're good.
Get the fuck out of my house.
So I go back there, and I'm just like, it's in the dark, of course, and I give her the bottle and I'm getting her back to sleep. And
Dude, those lights have been on so quick if I was out on bottle duty at that point.
And trust me, I was like, what the hell was that? All right. So 1 week later, kid you not, 1 week later. So, and I'm just like, okay, this is weird, whatever, like moving on with my life. I'm not going to like worry about this.
I'm not afraid.
And again, I always had the first feeding. So I'm always waiting for my daughter. And so one night she just keeps crying and waking up and crying. And I mean, like, she did this like 5 times in a row where she just like would, and I think on the 6th time, I'm going back there, I'm trying to get her settled down. I put her in the crib. Weirdest fucking thing. The crib shook. We don't have a crib that rocks. It's a crib. It's not a rocking crib. It goes shush, shush, shush. I mean, the hairs on my arms still are standing up because I remember the experience so vividly. Immediately, I look underneath the crib. I'm looking everywhere. Like, was there an animal in? Like, what the fuck was that shit? And
Patches. What's the name of your cat?
Well, we didn't have that cat at the time. So Patches. No, that's a
I can't remember the name of the cat that attacked you.
Meowsers.
Meowsers.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
It was not around at that time. So and there was no cats in the room, no dog in the room, nothing. And I just, but she fell asleep and I went to bed after that. And I just was like, okay, I'm not going to try.
It's okay.
So I get to talking to our new neighbors who are moving in, and they're like, yeah, we've had the weirdest like experiences, like a whole toilet moved, like it was in one place and then, it's in this other place.
Yeah, my husband went and peed on the floor because it wasn't in the same spot.
Wait, what? Whoa.
Yeah.
Their fucking toilet moved? Like to a different
in
room?
front of them, but like basically it was in one position and they come back and it's a different position the whole time.
Like the whole toilet or the seat?
It wasn't connected. They were like moving in and they were renovating. And so like the toilet had.
Okay, that makes more because I was trying to figure out how.
Yeah. It was not connected. It was not.
That's somebody fucking.
Okay.
But his tools would go missing. So then the lady begins to tell me that she's done some history searching on this house and that like her house, the house that they're moving in, the one that's next door, and I mean like just next door to us. And there are graves actually in the back of their backyard.
Nice.
And it was a family, and the original owners of that house was a family.
Wait.
Large family.
Can I ask a question?
Was it
Yeah.
the
They
bird,
bought
the
the house,
burbs?
did they know there were graves back there?
No, they didn't because the grave headstones were cut off. But you could see the lump.
You can't
And,
sell you can't.
But you got to know that like they were cut off.
Where the fuck is this? This isn't where you live?
Yeah, this is right next door to where I live. Yeah.
So you still live next to the dead people?
Yeah, well, we haven't had any ghost experience with that, but it was very heightened at the
They've
time.
been
Bro,
taken
your
up
daughter's crib fucking shook, and it's
Yeah. I know. Trust me.
Wait, the ghost motorboated his daughter?
Yeah.
No, but thank you for going there.
I guess that's the name of the title of the episode.
Ghost
sure,
motorboating? The motorboating ghost is going to be the episode title.
So seriously, so
Okay.
they didn't know the body. Couldn't they sue? Because you can't sell a house to someone when there's
And not disclose there's fucking dead bodies?
You also have to understand, like, people that bought it, they bought it because it was foreclosed on or whatever.
That doesn't matter.
Okay, again, the people that bought this house were not of the mindset
of this world.
No.
You live next to the fucking burbs, dude.
That's what I call the burbs. Yeah,
they were not of the ilk that would have basically been like, we're going to get a lawyer and sue the people that like sold us this house. That was not the case. So, and they eventually left the house.
Move the
abandoned
fuck
the
out.
house.
well, I would have left too. I mean, Randy said the toilet moved on Colt McCoy.
Maybe Randy. That's a good callback to Jack's old.
Well, it's a true story.
Yeah, but it's got legs now.
Okay,
So,
well,
much like this.
I'm glad you remembered Randy because Nick and Chris are looking at us like I don't get it. I don't.
No idea.
So
Well,
I'm laughing. I'm gonna.
I was on a plane with Colt McCoy, who was drafted number 1 by Cleveland. He's sitting in first class. I'm at business. I'm right behind him. He went to the bathroom. First one to use that bathroom. I went after him. He peed all over the toilet seat. All over the fucking toilet seat. I'm like, fuck you, Colt McCoy. You couldn't lift the toilet seat? Anyway, go ahead, Matt.
he didn't want to get COVID, so.
He saw you, Jack.
I have-
Yeah, fuck that
Well,
guy.
if you saw his throws, he was always off. So anyway, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, he was pissing all over the field. I don't know if I have anything more to say about this. I mean, there's not really much more to report it. Eventually,
That bothers me. There's dead bodies out there.
eventually well, I mean, they're buried or whatever, but so
Still, it's like go play in the backyard.
it's
kids.
not in my backyard. It's in their backyard.
The person that sold the house, well, it was a repo, so
Yeah.
you don't know who
Exactly.
who broke the tombstones.
We don't know. We
So
have
they're
no idea.
completely gone. There's no tombstones at all.
They're completely gone. And the guy
When were they buried there? What year?
I have no idea, Jack, because the headstones were gone. The research that the woman did basically is that the family that originally had the house next to me, the one that dates back to 1850, the family basically consisted of like 5 children and a mom and a dad, and all the children died and the husband of TB, and it ended up just being the wife that was left in charge.
The wife
Dude,
survived.
fuck this, dude. I want to stop podcasting right now. I'm freaking out.
So the wife survived, and everybody else died.
Yeah, sure.
Because there's no
Convenient.
Can we dig those people up and see if there was something in there? You know that they're.
I will say that the house next door to me, and I hope that my neighbors never listen to this podcast.
Same.
There has been a bit of a history of the wives going a little.
Does it have a large furnace in the basement?
What about this?
It was TB. You know, they died of TB. So tuberculosis.
Okay, I got it.
No, they were fucking murdered by the mother.
Exactly. You don't know.
The ghosts of these kids are fucking
That's
pissed off.
why they're still around. They're wrestling.
And they're still around.
I don't know, but I'm living next to.
What's the one that gave her dad 40 whacks and gave her mom 40 more? What's
Lizzie
his name?
Borden.
Lizzie Borden. You live next door to Lizzie Borden.
Massachusetts' own Lizzie Borden.
All right,
From Fall River.
Wait a minute.
One more incident that was weird that happened.
Okay.
One more.
Please do tell.
Living next to a serial killer.
Dude,
So-
if you guys haven't figured out by now, I clearly live in the better fucking Franklin of the two.
Okay. By the way, this is so Boston of you. Like, we cannot be Franklin friends. It's a better thing. It's like that, you know.
Well, you live in scary Franklin, man. That's
It gives character.
you can't.
You know what?
The murders give
This
character.
is all coming full fucking circle. I bet you their fucking pets were killed too, but there's no gravestone for them. So they came back and possessed little bastard meowsers who had to fucking snap on you and slap your face for killing them in their prior life.
All right.
I
will just say that
I like that, Chris. It wasn't Mauser that
yeah.
you.
It's an excellent theory because we've already established that cats can see ghosts.
Yes.
And so that's what we're saying is that the ghosts were trying to send Matt a message through the baby. Didn't work. So what they did was they got to Mausers and said, you need to get this fucker's attention.
Or
Yeah.
better yet, perhaps
Ghost Mauser attack you.
no,
Fucking pay attention.
No, Matt's the fucking ghost, dude.
Matt's
and
the ghost?
Meowsers was attacking him.
Oh. I mean, he is a floating head.
Wow.
The whole Edward Snowden thing, dude. This shit's just unraveling. This is like a fucking ball of yarn, dude. God damn it! Who the fuck are we podcasting with, guys?
I don't know. So Matt.
And he disappeared. Yeah, like a ghost.
Oh shit!
I guess he's
should have
gone.
gummies more often before the show starts.
Well, you know what? You figure.
See ya. Well, there he is.
you guys fucking suck. You know that?
You see your head. Up down a little bit. There you go. A little more. You're still in the
There
picture.
you go. Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
You got Chris tickled.
Seriously, if you're not joining us live, guys, you need to join us live.
I'm gonna have gummies before the show more often. This is incredible.
Well, I got it. When COVID's over, we do a live remote from Franklin, Indiana, and we dig up the backyard.
That's fucking twisted, Jack. That's really
That
weird.
is okay. So let me just finish
You
out.
tell me
little bit
we wouldn't get
I
a
can never
lot of.
finish my fucking
Go ahead.
story.
Are you
Go
trying to tell me that we wouldn't all be fucking haunted the rest of our lives? After
I'm
digging
already
up-
haunted, so it doesn't fucking matter. And
So-
Matt's already haunted.
So first of all, like most of this activity was heightened when there was activity when they took the house back to its normal state.
Right.
That couple that took it over, they basically ran out of money, funds, or whatever, and they bounced. And we never saw them again.
Wait, time out. Did you see them leave?
Yeah, exactly. You think they bounced.
No, I mean they left for sure.
Okay, but no, time out. One day they just weren't there.
Okay, everything's not a conspiracy, Trump. Okay, so look, they just were gone. All right, they just left. Chris.
I'm asking you a question. Did any of your neighbors see them leave?
Yes, they left. Okay, they're all gone. They had dogs with them and everything. In fact,
on.
In fact, it was abandoned for so long, at least a solid year or so, that the fire detectors, the smoke alarms, started going off. They all started going beep beep. And let me tell you, it is freaking annoying when you're just outside and all you hear is like a fire detector going off in your neighbor's house. And so I had to actually
fire detector.
I actually had to
You know what's more annoying? You know what's more annoying?
and I
Poltergeist.
had to take down the smoke detector because it was just annoying. It was like they just kept going off. So, okay.
Speaking of smoke detectors, I can legitimately hear one. There's something chirping behind one of you.
I have a cricket.
Yeah.
There's a cricket down here in my
Buddy
house.
Holly.
That's not a fucking cricket, dude. That's not a cricket. They fucking know you're talking about them.
Exactly. The high frequencies, man. They're talking.
So let's get the facts straight. Matt never saw his neighbors leave.
Okay.
Nope.
Why are you? I can't even get through the fucking story. God damn. This is just typical, Jack. Just typical.
I'm trying to write down the information so we don't mess up. But go ahead.
Okay. So they leave. Another couple comes in, and they buy the house. Now this guy, he did a lot of renovating around the city, and so he like that was his thing. Like he fixed up houses and what have you. And so they bulldozed. They never dug up the bodies. Okay, that never happened. But where they were buried is basically like there's a big, huge cement slab over all of that shit now. So because they had they had the machines come in and they ripped off things of that house and they took it back to its state. And after that, pretty much nothing. I haven't had any ghost sightings or anything like that.
You're saying
But
cement
during
slab
that
over.
period of time, what's up?
Cement slab keeps ghosts intact.
I'm not saying that it's like the Ghostbusters containment unit, but we
You
haven't.
see that picture of Casper right there? That's just a picture of him after he flew through a slab of concrete.
Okay, so here's the thing. So during that period of time, it was the most active, and the only other incident that I remember specifically was there was one night there was an electrical storm that came through, like just a thunderstorm, but we had a lot of lightning, like a lot, and it was just kind of nonstop. So take of it what you will. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe it was the thunder making this happen. I don't know. But again, late at night, it's like 2 a.m. I'm on the computer, looking at porn. No, I was on message boards. And my daughter was a toddler by this point, like maybe 2 or, so we had one of those tables. No, nothing dealing with my daughter. This was just strictly targeted at me. But my daughter had one of those tables where, that the kids can stand at, and they have like the piano keys, and there's a book that flips over, right? And it has the colors. Well, one of the piano keys is red, and it kept going off during this storm. It would, and let me tell you, there is
Dude, do you fucking not get it?
There's nothing creepier than kids' toy in the middle of the night.
Are you bullshitting right now?
No, I am not bullshitting. I remember this. And by the way, my wife did not want to hear any of this. She was like, I'm not having this. So in the middle of the
she doesn't believe, or she believes or doesn't want to hear.
Every so often it would go off and it would say red, like
red
a
rum?
little
red rum.
Red. No, not red. It would just go red. And then like it's the first time it does it, you're like, that's weird. Okay, I'm just gonna go. And then it would do it again. And then I would like try to ignore it. And then after the third time, I'm like, all right, I'm like going over and looking at this thing. I'm physically looking at it. Nothing's wrong with it. Okay, I'm gonna go back to red. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Like,
Was it a talking? Did it have words in the?
There were other keys. I mean, it could have chose blue, green, or yellow.
But if you hit it, it would say red.
I have the same toy. I know what you're talking about. It's never done that. Never done that for me.
You're like, that's it. The toy's gone.
If that thing that thing would have been broken over my knee so quickly if it was going red.
I really think we need to investigate. What's the address of the house next to you?
I'm good.
Text me the address of the house next to you, and I'll do some research on it.
Okay, I'll do that. I just had to share my ghost stories.
Dying to find out what you dig up.
Yeah,
I'm
literally.
Yeah, I think we should.
There's like a triple pun in that sentence.
By the way, the current owners were not the people that renovated. So there's now new people that live in there.
Yeah.
They have no idea that there were bodies buried in the background.
Oh, so they bought the house and nobody told them? That's bullshit.
So you had a missed opportunity. Then you could have put
moral obligation of this world.
I am not. No,
because they're living in the house of Lizzie Borden, where the wife kills people. Is it a husband and wife? Do they have kids? Do they have kids?
Yeah, they do.
Come on.
We have a Netflix special on our hands, boys.
Any activity since
Let's do it.
Because they've been waiting for a family that didn't know what was going on.
It's been like 13 years, guys.
13 years. Ghosts have nothing but time.
13? Really? 13?
Yeah.
You're gonna go 13? Yeah. Your story fucking just gets worse. and worse and worse and worse.
Guys.
So one day the wife's gonna come over and go, yeah, if you don't see my husband, he left. Yeah. He took the kids.
How old were the kids when they died?
No, his first wife. That's what happened.
His first wife?
This has gotten way too. We
have a Netflix special on our hands, and we need to. This is going to happen.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
What are those ghost hunter people called?
You got to keep meowsers alive for at least a couple of years until we get funding, because he's going to be a big part of this shit.
Yeah, Mauser is a dick. So
if you knew somebody at the local university in the anthropology department with some ground penetrating radar, you get easily just scan it over the ground. There's a little indentation.
I like that.
I can't believe. So what do they think that slab is? Like a patio?
No, it's where they park their vehicles. They put in a whole like driveway right there.
So you're running over dead people?
Driving over the dead people every day.
And dead people are going,
just dripping oil on them.
Oh yeah, I forgot. There was this mulberry tree that was planted there.
Is it fucking red?
No. This was weird. When they had the mulberry tree cut down, this was like the weirdest thing. It's one of those. Yeah, okay, so this mulberry tree that was planted right next to where these graves, were. And by the way, it was a bush that basically just kept growing into a tree, and people just let it go. So at this point, it was a mulberry tree. So they came out to cut it down, and now this vehicle, the with the cherry picker and everything, it had giant size truck batteries, right? That thing died. The batteries were drained on that thing, and they had to come out and jump
because it was sitting on the graves, right? I mean,
they were trying to cut down the tree,
but it was stationed with a dead.
What is it? Right? I want to do the research of this house now. Yeah, Randy, you're fucking right. J&J Productions needs to secure the rights to produce this story.
This could be a podcast we just do.
This is going to take way more than Patreon money to make this happen.
I don't know if it's got that much legs, but it's definitely a weird incident that I've lived through.
I can't believe you live next to that place.
Well, the thing about it is like the number of people that have gone through. I mean, we've lived here for 16 years, and so we saw kind of like the all of it go down, really.
And it's funny that everybody just leaves that house.
Exactly. It's not like and they don't tell you why they're leaving, but they know why they're leaving because they're not going to admit it because then it loses resale value. So they're not going to sit there and say like, "Oh yeah, we're haunted. My daughter's head spun around in the crib."
No. The weird thing is the wife, the couple that moved in and discovered the headstones and like did all of the renovation. She would, and again, like most of the neighbors just kind of were like, okay, she's just weird. But one day she was out on her roof.
Sharpening her hatchet.
No, she was like naked.
One day randomly out on her roof?
Yeah, she was like out on, it has like this patio that you can walk out onto the roof. And she was out on the roof, either half naked or naked. I didn't get a chance to see this. But one of the other neighbors like saw her and was like, "Hey, you need to go back in," or something.
This is the wife
of the like couple that had went in and tore out the thing, and she.
How old was she?
I don't know. I mean,
was she normal when she came in to the house?
I thought she was normal, but you don't know. Like, I mean, they lived there for probably about a year. So
you do know.
in a
You know what
year's
you do know?
time.
Your fucking neighborhood is haunted as shit. That's what you do know.
Do I need to bring my granddaughter out there and have her talk to the people and see?
That would be helpful. That would
No. No, did you not listen, Jack? It's a motorboating ghost. Do you want your granddaughter exposed to that?
I do not. No, I don't.
You know, like
Yesterday, I watched. I was watching the episode where Miles, as a child, he sees the dead of Lost, and he sees the rewatch, and he talks to dead people. So, yeah, that would scare me, man. I mean, I thought it was weird that things just happen here. Like our windows are tight, and all of a sudden they're shut, and we just go, okay,
whoa,
all right, that's okay. But what you're saying, I mean, I don't think there's anyone buried dead next to my house or in my yard.
You don't know. That might explain a lot. So, how many graves are we all living on? So,
I have two dogs died, and I buried them out back. I know that.
So you have a pet cemetery.
Yeah.
Fucking Cujo.
Yeah. But really, I would bet more Chris has more dead bodies than the rest of us do, because I mean it's Massachusetts. There's lots of people who have lived and died.
Probably a lot of witches.
North Carolina. I mean, you got a lot. I mean, nobody ever knew what happened to Virginia Dare.
But because I mentioned about Raleigh, about the Civil War, and I was told someone sent me. I thought it had been Randy. Someone sent me something saying, "No bullshit. Nothing here."
No, there's not many battles that happen in North Carolina.
Yeah,
like Danville, I think was one of the only few. There's only a couple.
So we just skipped North Carolina.
Well, I mean, because everything happened in Virginia, and so the only time that really it got to North Carolina was actually from the Western Front when Sherman went east, and then he went all the way down to Savannah, then turned north. That's when there was a few battles.
Savannah, Georgia. Savannah.
That's right. That's how you say it.
Savannah. Well, God, this is. I'm still waiting for that text, Matt.
I would like to. Oh, you want me to text you that now?
Well, I don't want you to forget. You're old.
Thanks. Sure. What I won't forget, though, is throwing in another one of those ad breaks, because we're a long show and we got to have two. Oh, that was a good one.
Advertising Ghostbusters, the new movie, right?
I'll finally get back to it.
Oh, not that.
It's hard to continue on with the ghost stories, but Jack asked about how the Gatling gun was, and so for everyone out there, the reason why I've been gone for 2 weeks is when I drove up to Wyoming a month ago or so, and had discovered that there was a shooting company that you could shoot any kind of weapons. And I told my dad about it, so he wanted to come. So we drove up to Cody, Wyoming to shoot automatic weapons, as well as there's a huge gun and Old West museum up there. And so we shot a Thompson submachine gun, an M16, and a Gatling gun from the 1860s, and it was pretty awesome. I actually preferred the Thompson the most, though.
But did it handle? I mean, was it like?
Yeah, I can send you a video of me doing it. It's actually, of all the ones I shot, though, that was actually the most disappointing, because it's just sitting there, and you're really just turning a crank. That's all you're doing. So you're going, oh, it's not really as cool as I thought it would be.
But a weapon of its time, that was just like,
oh, it'd be badass.
People with 6 shooters and rifles, and you got
you just up there, But it's pretty. It'll shoot as fast as you can crank it.
Because any Western, when they say they have a Gatling gun, fuck. Are you kidding me? No, I would like to shoot a Gatling. I would like to.
It was invented by a dentist or a doctor. I can't remember. Gatlin, that's what he was.
Oh, really?
I think he was a doctor, because he was seeing in the early years of the Civil War, like all these kids that were coming in just, dead or mutilated from these 58 caliber sized bullets. And he said, the war would end quickly if you could actually just really demoralize people by being able to shoot a shit ton of them. And so that's why
I know it worked in Vietnam. Oh, wait, too soon?
Yeah, well, okay. I thought you were going somewhere else with that. But yeah.
No, I'm just saying it didn't work, but that's okay. Carpet bombing and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. But no one bought. There was not one Gatling gun ever used in the Civil War because people didn't trust it. So It was interesting.
Why? See, that's the Civil War. I mean, I don't know. The wars back then just cracked me up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like everything. You go with what's dependable. What's proven. That's the reason. Always at the beginning of every war, it's always the old technology, and then it slowly progresses forward.
Someone would have bought one.
No, I think the guy told us that one guy bought them privately. Like one general bought 2 of them, but I don't think they were ever used though in actual combat.
Did Lincoln ban them because he didn't want them being brought to theaters?
13. But yeah, it was great. And then, then after that, we progressed over to Yellowstone and down to Jackson Hole. And the highlight of the trip, actually, though, was I took this one photograph in Jackson Hole. That was a pretty good photo, and there's this one guy that doesn't get on social media. He doesn't care about social media. He doesn't wish you happy birthday or anything. And he actually liked my photograph. And he liked it so much, he actually made a comment saying how much he liked it. And it was just like the greatest day of my life. This guy who has zero emotion,
Someone's account got hacked.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
No way. Yeah, it sounds like fun. I would like to go to Wyoming and all those places. Yeah.
Wyoming's great. I mean, it's because there's no one lives there. It's a wide open state, But
right.
It's my second time in Cody. I really like that little town. It's only about 9,000 people, and it's very much like an old west town. And the hotel that we stayed in was the Irma Hotel, which was Buffalo Bill Cody's daughter.
Really?
And so when you stay in this hotel, it's very much early 19th. That's great. It's very early 20th century style. I mean, it has I almost sent you guys a picture because the toilet was the old chain type toilet.
They have one of those in San Diego. We stayed at Comic-Con.
That's right. Yeah, they do. I forget. And I almost sent you like a photo going like, oh, the gun's on the back side of the toilet. But.
Did we lose everybody in the chat from the ghost stories?
I think so.
I think so. We really terrified them.
No one's gonna sleep tonight.
Well, if anyone's terrified, it's Chris right now.
I didn't realize that it would freak him out that bad.
But it's an interesting story that you were saying.
I'm totally earnest about all of it. I mean, like some of the things that had happened, and at the time, I tried to talk to my wife about it. She didn't want to hear anything about it. I mean, she was like, "Nope,
So
nope.
she's afraid of ghosts, or she doesn't want.
She was just like, "No, I don't want to hear anything about that. Stop that." Like, and I was like, "Okay, well, this is really weird, like this, like I know what happened, and it's like, but." Anyway, I didn't think I would tell that story tonight. In fact, I thought I'd talked about it at some point, but maybe it was just.
No, I don't remember that. I would have remembered that.
Well, I know, Jack, you and I have talked about the ghost at your house, so I didn't know if I'd shared that. So
yeah, I think you might have, but I don't remember. I would have remembered those stories. I would remember the dead people in the backyard. I would have remembered that. Now, is there anyone dead? Is it? Your house was built when 1920?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People still buried relatives in their backyard, but back then,
I think our house was actually part of that plot of land, and that it was actually probably sold off at some point because, just as houses went in around. Now, the one great thing about our house was that when it was put in, there was a flood here in Franklin in like 1919 or 19. I think it was like 1919 or 1918. It was like something around there. So when they built ours, our basement sits higher than anybody else around us. So when we had another flood that came through in 2008, our house did not flood. So
the bodies could still be there. It wouldn't have floated away.
They're probably
you see that all the time when there's a hurricane or there's flooding. They go through a cemetery. The coffins float away, and we know back 1850 they didn't have nice coffins. They were just like
they were wood.
Yeah, just
yeah.
There was one.
I bet you open up one of them that's got like scratch marks on the top.
Well, they used to put bells on them for that reason. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I was doing
just playing, Dad.
I was doing an archaeological dig once in South Nashville, and we were doing the ground penetrating radar. And you're right, like this was an old cemetery from like the 1840s, 1850s to like 1890s. And there was one when we were passing over that it was actually a cast iron coffin. And we were like, what the? Because the amount of money it would have cost to do that was insane at the time. We just found that really interesting.
So you were digging in Tennessee. You were digging in.
We weren't digging. So like most of archaeology is pre-construction or just you're trying to find something. And in this particular cemetery, they had thought that a certain segment of the cemetery was a mass burial from the Civil War, and they were trying to confirm if that was true or not.
Right.
And so that's what we were doing. We were just out there surveying. And so we had to go over like the existing part of some of the cemetery as well as like this spot that they thought it was. And it was a mass burial site. But
really?
This one spot though that we went over though, you could see roughly, it was interesting because you could see like the headstone and then land naturally shifts over time. So you'd see the headstone, but then the grave would actually be like 2 or 3 feet diagonal in one direction or the other from where they, oh God.
That's a Karen mask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your story, Nick, with my visuals. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it was neat because like all of a sudden you see this really weird anomaly in the ground. You're like, what the hell is that? And then so we did like a little rod test. We went down there and like
what was that?
Yeah, a little rod test.
rod
yeah, the rod test.
How does that rod test work?
All right, showed you twice, not showing you again.
I just learned something.
Do you count how many poles on that, or like is it a like? I don't know.
John,
it was just it was a probe. Yeah, we probed it.
Even better. Well, John, the UPS guy said that's why they call it graveyard shift. I did not know.
So
that.
he also said earlier, Saved by the Bell, and
yeah,
I had to Google it. That's the fucking etymology or the origin story of Saved by the Bell.
Mm-hmm.
It was the bells that were attached to the coffins. I had
really.
No idea.
That's how they got the title.
Yeah.
I figured it was Saved by the Bell was because like knockout or the bell rings its class because it was set
updated version. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. No, I like this. So the show Saved by the Bell is actually kind of like Lost. They're actually like all dead.
You can't wait for the next time you're in your house and a random bell rings on your mantle.
It's not a fucking angel.
You're gonna hear bell rings now. You don't even fucking own any bells, probably, right?
Daddy, that's when an angel gets his wings.
Wow.
See, now we're in Matt's head.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of any.
You're gonna hear a bell, and it's gonna freak you the fuck out.
Actually,
don't plant that seed, okay?
We can all call them at 3 a.m. with bell sounds.
I'm glad I have the do not disturb on my phone because you guys would totally do that.
I would not do that.
I've already started searching for the sound.
It was yeah. I mean, it's kind of a morbid podcast. But,
yeah, it's good though.
Yeah, the most interesting thing though in that cemetery was there was a young girl that died when she was like 8. And on the top, it wasn't like a typical tombstone. It was like a little, what do we want to call it? Like a little structure that was above it.
Right.
And it had a spot that was flat with a permanent candlestick holder there. And somebody that oversaw the graveyard told us that girl died. Of course, she was so little, she was afraid of the dark. So her father, all the way till he died, would have a candle there and light it every night, so she wouldn't have to sleep in the dark.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's sad and it's touching. I mean,
it's one of those like wow, because like you just don't see people do that anymore, or something. Because we're just kind of boring now. It's just the typical tombstones. But it's like
what year what year did she die?
I mean, that was 2008 when I was there. I don't really remember, but it was. I mean, it's like I said, it's an old cemetery, so this is all usually before 1900. I mean, these were all old. So.
No, but she died in like 1900.
She probably died like in the 1890s or something like that.
Wow. Because you don't think of parents being that caring about their kids back. I mean, they had so many of them that
Well, this
I'm serious. A lot of
yeah, but
a lot
this is the
yeah,
East
farmers-
Coast. In the West Coast, yes, but like this is the East Coast. Still it's we kind of gotten over that at that point.
Okay. That is a touching story. It's nice, and nobody no family members picked up on it. They just said, "Screw the kid."
They didn't know her, so
Your dad's kind of.
But the dad didn't say, "Hey, if I happen to die, here's some money for some candles."
No.
So every day he'd go put a candle on there and light it.
yeah.
Now, do you know of
That's
any
what they told me.
of any loved ones that were kind of on their deathbed and saw others from the other side? Like I had a great grandmother who her son, which would have been my step grandfather, he had already passed, and so when she was kind of close, like she saw him, like waiting there, and so it's like we kind of knew that it was time because she was like, saying that she was seeing other people, So
I know my daughter
lived for a long time. She lived. She was in her 90s. Nobody knew her actual age because she would never say, But
and once you get to a certain point, isn't that like bragging rights? It's like,
yeah, right.
Fucking, I'm 98.
I still look good because I'm 70. I don't know. I have no idea. Like what are you lying for? Like,
I mean, was she an escort?
I've seen 70. You're not
baby.
70.
Hey, baby, come on with me. I know it won't break.
don't besmirch Mammy, okay? Like she was a kind soul. So
just lied about her age.
Yeah, and lied about her age.
I know my daughter, whose granddaughter, it's her child. When my uncle died, he was her godfather. She had a dream about him, like that night, and he died. And she, like I said, she had a dream about him that night, about him coming to visit.
Oh wow!
So when she died, and then my mom had when her mom died, her mom sat at the end. She said she sat at the end of the bed, and she didn't know her mom had died, and said everything's going to be okay. So.
I'm sorry with my comment, but Miami Mike in the chat says, I saw the ghost of Tom Brady and this weekend on my TV. So,
oh my God,
here you go.
So yeah, I think people do see things. It's like I said, I've seen things here, and like I said, everyone but Jay doesn't believe it because he never saw it.
It's so weird too because he's like the Ghostbuster guy. But
yeah, and he goes, I believe in ghosts. I go, then why are you arguing with all of us? Even my son-in-law saw someone walking up the stairs. He goes, hey. And I go, who are you talking to?
It wouldn't be Jay if he did.
I go, it's just me and you. He goes, what? He goes, well, I just saw someone walk up the stairs. I go, well, go check.
Now,
I'd went out the door.
Jack, I have had the... or is that just me?
I think that was Chris.
Please don't. Oh, Chris, actually, that's actually Chris's comment. Shit, I should take that off of there.
I wonder how many bells we could have shipped to Matt's house.
Little Chrissy Skypeck on the chat says, everyone listening, go to Amazon and send Matt a bell. There you go.
So in truth be told, I put that in there like 5 minutes ago, and I'm like, how come no one's laughing at that? That's fucking gold. And I realized it filters out comments that have URLs in them. I was like, oh shit! I put the jjack.com/Amazon link on that.
Really?
Yep.
There's a house in San Jose, California, and this is this woman that was married into the Winchester family, and
it's always guns with you.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting house because she was told by somebody like a psychic, that she would never know peace because of all the death and blood that's on her family's hands, even though she married into the family. And so what she did, because someone else told her that ghosts get confused, and so she built her house like a maze. So there's all these rooms and hallways that go to nowhere, and stairwells that go to the ceiling, and all these weird things. But
I've heard of the Winchester house.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Not related to from MASH, as I was sharing there. So Okay.
You know. I mean, it's neat. It's worth a tour, but like, it's kind of like,
Massachusetts.
Yeah, Winchester, yes, yeah. I went and saw it.
Is it in Massachusetts?
No, it's in San Jose, California.
Oh, that's right. You did say San Jose because Winchester
is in Massachusetts.
It's from Massachusetts.
The town.
No,
of
but
Winchester.
she I think she did live. She moved out there though to get away after her husband's death.
Well,
and
why
then
was she being punished if she married into the family? I mean, it's just like
she was just who knows? It was the 1800s, man. They believed all kinds of weird shit. They let you bury people in the backyard.
yeah, it's true.
And not tell the people who buy the house from you.
Yeah,
Generations.
They
over.
thought slavery was morally okay. So
Well,
I mean,
as long as you said-
hey, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible.
As long as you went to God and say, "Hey, forgive me," it's okay, right? I think it's okay. Well, we have a gas station just down the street here that has. I was filling up gas one day, and I've been to this gas station like for a year. What the fuck is that? It was Tombstones. I go, really?
Pizza?
You could? Yeah, Tombstone Pizza. Do they still have Tombstone Pizza?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, do they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Anyway, so it had like an iron fence around it,
dying
and like
to
there
try
was like 5 or 6 tombstones. I'm like going, why the fuck would you not move these people? They got to look at a gas station for the rest of for eternity. I mean, a gas station. I don't know. I think I would just want something better. Am I asking too much?
Maybe.
Does it matter? Maybe I can be buried in Matt's backyard
no.
as long as Matt doesn't come over and pee.
It's all filled up. It's all filled up.
It's all
No,
filled up.
no more room.
Have you had any thought about having someone like us with us? Nick would know because they have the equipment where you can see if what's under the ground. Have you thought
Look,
about
it's
doing
not
that?
my property, so me going around knows.
No, your backyard. Your backyard.
Oh,
My backyard's fine.
I think that's part 2 of our.
My house was built
scared.
in 1920. This was after that lady,
That's-
killed her family.
It
So
was, the house was built in 1920, but the lot was there. You said they shared the lot, so it was one lot. You probably got dead bodies in your
this is a
backyard.
massive graveyard.
I've dug around my yard. I'm good.
How have you dug 6 feet down?
I've dug pretty far because I've planted some trees. So doing my part. for
You don't
nature.
need to do 6 feet though. Trees,
I also cut down a tree this weekend too. So
so you're killing the environment.
tip
So that'll
of
be
the
part of
cap.
the
I
Netflix.
planted 3, but I chopped down 1. So
So Netflix special, episode 2, Matt's backyard.
And there's this weird, like, you know how every mystery Netflix special has like these weird rabbit holes they go down that have nothing to do with the regular story. Like episode 4 or 5, we're gonna take a jaunt out for like these displaced squirrels in another part of the state, and we're like, what the fuck does this have to do with the ghosts? And then we realized it was just a complete filler episode that has nothing to do with the actual ghost story.
What happened to the squirrels?
Dude, this is like a 12. This is like a 12 episode arc.
I like it. I like it. I
This
like
would be
it.
great.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's not a 12 episode night. Am I right? We didn't even get a chance to get Owen and Baruz on this, right?
Yeah, no. We've got actually a lot to talk about.
Actually, the white crayon of the Jane Jack Podcasting
I
Network.
feel like we need to actually have an official-
Hey man, just gotta
Owen and
find
Baruz.
someone who digs black paper. That's all.
No, it doesn't even work on black paper.
By the way, there was so both the Mandalorian trailer, which we can talk about just briefly, like season 2 dropped. No, you don't want to?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
The Mandalorian.
Go ahead. Oh, you can see me. I forgot.
No, okay, fine. We'll just do our own podcast. I thought you would like it. I thought you.
I'm
you'd like
just,
it.
I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead.
Did you watch it?
Sabine fucking Wren, dude.
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, Randy
Maybe.
points out we need to talk about the verses from a couple weeks
Oh
ago.
shit!
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
we got so much.
Oh, I
stuff.
gotta go fucking do that. Fucking
And,
bullshit.
and we have an email. What the hell? Okay.
Yeah, and I've got
Well,
all
we
kinds
do
of stuff to review. I've seen all kinds of shows and
I
movies.
watched the first episode of The Boys.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Here's what we do. I know. Chris has got to go. So
Ish. I got some time.
So why don't here we'll do this. Jack, you look up the poll results.
I'm looking for it right now.
I'll read this email, and eventually Nick and Jack, if you're willing, we'll roll this into a bonus
Sure.
episode. We can talk about TV shows. How's that? Does that work?
It's good. I feel like I'm cheating.
I've seen a lot of
people,
ghost TV shows.
I've almost finished Clone Wars.
That's true. See, we got all kinds of stuff to talk about.
And did you see the Squadrons trailer that dropped today?
Yeah.
No.
The one C-3PO.
Oh
No.
man, this is right up your alley, Chris. It's a video game and everything.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah. It's like a 9-minute like video. I almost
Dude.
Yeah, PS5 price and date dropped today though.
Why did people post
Xboxes,
so much crap on our
pre-order dates as well.
Oh,
There's a lot of shit happening.
yeah.
I guess this is why I didn't see this email. The email starts off, "I miss Nick and Chris."
No, with a question mark. Exactly. I actually was not a fan of this email. I mean, it was well intentioned.
Oh, is
But-
that sarcasm?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
Okay,
you
so-
in advance. I haven't even heard it yet. How
Hi
about
guys.
that?
Hi guys. I just wanted to say that although I missed hearing Nick and Chris on this week's show, I really enjoyed listening to Jay again, and particularly was entertained with all of Matt's rambling. Well, apparently I talked a lot last week. Sorry guys.
You wouldn't shut up.
Jack, funny as always, definitely don't stop complaining about selfish people who refuse to wear masks. Here in Belgium, pretty much people have embraced mask fashion and accepted that they are part of our lives for the foreseeable future.
Good.
Anyway,
It's
keep
gonna
up
be.
the good work. It is a treat to hear you every Thursday morning.
Oh.
That is my favorite email in some time.
I retract the fuck you. That wasn't necessarily
that wasn't so bad.
Okay, that was a good email. I'm just saying.
It's actually really
She was
nice.
pro masks. Is that it?
No, she was
Yeah.
pro. She was pro Matt, not masks.
Oh.
Matt.
Well, she liked the mix up, you know.
We threw some love my way. I'm happy with that.
And she liked Jay.
I
Nobody likes
started
Jay.
I started last week's show just like with no host, and then Jay jumped on, and then Jack appeared.
Yeah, I was late, and I didn't know you guys had started when I came on.
It was fun. It was fun.
Baby Spice? Nobody wants a Baby Spice reunion.
Are you ready for the verses?
Let's hear the results there.
All right, this is only 3 because Nick. Oh, let's ask Nick.
Okay.
The choice were Top
Oh,
Gun.
yeah,
Caddyshack.
I voted though on that one because I wasn't a part of it, but I did vote. I voted for Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. Okay. Well, we had Footloose. You can tell which I picked Footloose because I was third on the dice roll. Okay, so you can tell who the order was. So I got Footloose, Hands Across America, 20 votes. So it came down to Danger Zone, Top Gun, and I'm All Right from Caddyshack. And at one point, it was tied, and it was a tight vote each way. But I'm All Right got 56 votes.
Hmm.
Danger Zone got 60, and guess who voted for Danger Zone? Jay. So that just proves it was a Jay pick.
Yeah.
It was a winner.
But I mean, I'm going to make your argument for Matt. I guess Matt's pick, which is the Caddyshack. I'm all right because if there's any of those 3 songs I'm going to listen to, if it just comes randomly on the radio, it's going to be that one because that's like just a good song. Whereas in like the Footloose song is very much tied to the movie and just Kevin Bacon doing the gotta cut in it, and then
I didn't have a choice.
and then Danger Zone,
because he says Danger Zone. He says Danger Zone too many times, right?
No,
exactly.
he says, I'm all right.
The Danger Zone.
But,
I don't think it's how many times he says that. It's how you feel listening to it. Danger Zone is like you're on cocaine, flying down the highway, 90 miles an hour, like driving recklessly, weaving in and out of traffic. Cops are following you.
I am dangerous ice.
and man, that's what's crazy about Top Gun is that Maverick is actually a maverick in that film. He's not the good guy. Iceman is the good guy in that film, but yet somehow they romanticize the crazy person, which is Tom Cruise in that film.
Well, because in every Tom Cruise movie, he has
Story of
daddy.
Tom Cruise's life.
Am I right?
For real.
You're fucking messing with my mind right now. I never thought of it that way.
He's the bad guy.
My childhood is fucking ruined.
It's true.
We're gonna buzz the tower. No, Nav. No, Nav. Don't do it, Nav.
And then you hear like Iceman, like you're dangerous. You're gonna get people killed. And even at the end of the film, he still goes to the guy. He's like, hey, concerning Maverick, and they're like, I hear your complaints. Just deal with it. And you're like, what the fuck, man? Like he's fucking crazy. Yeah, he
what's-
does save his life, but still.
the one thing that could hold his humanity, the one thing that like means something to him is Goose. And what does he do?
He kills him.
Goose. I don't want to think about the fact that I killed you or that I'm responsible for your death. He throws it away.
To be fair, he wanted Goose's wife. He wanted young Meg.
Oh, yeah, we all did.
Yeah, so I think that happened. But was it Viper, the one that said, well, if no one will fly with you, I will. Please, someone else fly with him. Please, please.
Tom Skerritt,
Cut that part out. It was Viper, right?
Yeah, Viper's his call sign.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great movie, but why was Goose the only one wearing a shirt in the volleyball scene?
We all know why. Because
he looks nothing like this teammate.
Exactly. You got three ripped guys, and you're saying of us, all of us four, you got those guys playing volleyball, and you got your dad bod happening, going like, I ain't taking this shit off. Like,
I'd be like, can I please keep my shirt on?
Can I be written out of this scene?
I'm wearing this swim shirt so I don't get a sunburn, guys.
In Fast Times at Ridgemont High, he takes off his shirt.
It's a UV protecting shirt, so my
Guys,
says I need to keep it on.
There's a long history of melanoma in my family.
I like
How come Tom Cruise has to check his watch like this?
last week I had a horrible sunburn and I just, well, I don't want to keep Mr. Chris any longer. Mister.
Mister.
That's my Val Kilmer impression.
Before we go, Chris, do you guys have HBO Max?
I do.
I do. I stole it from Jay.
The Ridley Scott show, Raised by Wolves. Check it out.
Okay.
It's different.
Well,
It's very Ridley Scott.
Clone Wars, and I gotta watch The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. That's my goal.
Yes. Finish the Clone Wars because I would really like to do a Owen and Bruce.
Skip Clone Wars and go watch Good, the Bad, the Ugly. We talk about it next week.
No.
He's only got 2 more episodes.
I can probably accomplish both feats this week.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah. How long did it take you to finish Das Boot? Yeah.
So the timer starts now.
So long, he didn't believe us. Right?
Everybody, I want you to mail Chris a copy of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly until he watches it. Well, so is that okay if we do a bonus, Jack? Nick, you good with that?
Fine with me. Yeah, we could probably talk about it again next week too, because I know the bonuses are just for the patrons. But if you become a patron and check out some of the bonus episodes,
I don't mind talking a little bit more TV. So
well, next week we should do where we talk about we play Top Gun and we talk about it like Mystery Science Theater. We keep talking about doing one of these movies, but we never do.
How would that work though? Like just logistically. Okay, we'll talk about that after the thing.
Well, can't we
one
put
of the hardest NES games ever. I could never land the damn thing on the aircraft carrier. That's the first level.
So you're a goose. No, you're. Yeah. Who's the guy that washes out in the beginning?
Oh, that's Merlin.
Merlin. No, not Merlin. Merlin is no. Merlin's Tim Robbins.
That's right.
You gotta do what? That's his big line.
Fuck, I forget.
I got a wife, man. I have my kid. I see my kid again.
I'm so scared.
All right. Last week we discovered one thing, that when the other hosts aren't here, Jack actually lets me finish out the show. It was kind of weird. It was like, huh. So
it's kind of fucking amazing. I didn't have anything to say.
God, what a weakling. I lost a little respect for you, Jack.
Sorry. Actually, I think at that point I'd fallen asleep because it was Jay and Matt.
God,
if you enjoyed the show, feel free to
let's wrap it up.
I'd love for you to do that. Thank you, Lillian, for the email. You can send us an email at rcadcast@gmail.com.
Do you guys know Micro Machines are back?
I don't know, Lillian, if I can really put up with these guys any longer. So, it might just be the three of them. And I don't know if I can actually mail you something in Belgium. That would be a little.
Why, they don't have postal service?
So, I just don't know how much it would cost. But I would love to send you a postcard.
Probably a buck.
Feel free to email us your address if you'd like to. Thanks again for everyone that joined us in the chat. It's always so much fun. And where would we be without Randy or Kim or John the UPS guy or Will? Or I feel like half the reason I show up for this is for Sherry. So Miami Mike, thanks for joining us again. Ethan, as well as Matthew Treist. Did I forget anybody? I hope I didn't.
Skypeck.
Chris Doran.
Nicholas Dunn was in there.
Well.
I hate that guy.
Me.
Anyway, thanks
Yeah,
thank
me.
you everyone for joining us live.
I contribute to the chat.
If you want to buy me a bell, go to jandjack.com/Amazon. Pick out the nicest bell. I will not put it around the Yowzer's neck. That is not happening.
I would have a sonar around his neck. I don't trust him.
If you want to become a patron or help us out at any level, go over to the jandjack.com website. There's a patron link there. And you can become a patron and get the bonus episode where we talk about other shit for another half hour or so. And
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Before we go, what's it called when we want? Is it GoFundMe when we want to start we want to start that Netflix special?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, you want to do the investigate the freaky fucking Franklin.
Yeah. So send me once you send me the information.
Franklin is the fucking name of the Netflix show.
Franklin?
Nice. Freaky
Freaky Franklin. Yeah, I like
Freaky
it.
Franklin.
Yeah, that'll have
Franklin.
legs there.
Yeah, I like it. And
Yes.
episode 5 is the squirrel episode, right?
Sure. The squirrels that just
The haunted
It's
squirrels.
the filler episode.
They're all red-eyed. They're all red-eyed squirrels.
There are a few people that make this, few patrons that rise above and beyond. And
Stop being a patron. Fund our
Fund the
Netflix
film.
special.
# fund the film.
Fund the film. Yeah.
And let's get to those patrons. I did make them Jaws themed. If you didn't see the graphic at the beginning, it was another great one by Ethan. Thank you so much for sending those in. You've been dynamite on those, and you've helped me out quite a bit. So, oh man, there's just lots of bells happening.
How come everyone's helping you out when you're doing less now?
I know, right?
I'm doing more and nobody's helping me out.
So with that Jaws theme, even though we didn't talk about Jaws, here you go. Here are your names for the week. A tack from the water. Get it?
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
Wait,
Tack from water.
you better just stop right there.
I probably should, but it's going to get worse. Eckhart Richter Riptide. Ed, we're going to need a bigger podcast. Get out of the water, Maggie. Don't open the beaches, Joanne. And Chief Greg Brody. Thank you for doing what you do. Thanks for making this show possible.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
That was your best ever. I'm not even
That was
fucking with you.
great. I mean, it was one of those things that it was like at first it's like, ooh, good one.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
You're
good
always
halfway
waiting for
through.
the one that I fuck up or I make some sexual innuendo that I don't even know that I made.
You
so.
still got about 15 seconds.
Unless-
man.
He doesn't know he
I'm
does
counting
that.
on you.
He doesn't know he's done the sexual unless you read the private chat.
The best is when you drop the innuendo, don't realize until after you stop recording, and then we just shit on you for 15 minutes longer.
Yeah, you guys think that the show stops after we record, but no, it just keeps on going. So no, I love these guys. So it's great. I look forward to this. So, all right, gentlemen, and everyone that joined us, thanks again. This was a great show. It was one in a Spectre.
1 in a million.
Oh, I like that.